Um, I would like to start with a story I feel was best captured by Mr. Feels Wild Ride. I
Oh yeah.
will retweet it. I have already retweeted it, but I'll retweet it again right now, just so that it's at the top of my timeline. And what
I
this
hate
is,
Mr. Fields' Twitter account because it's always something that I wanted to talk about, but he does a better tweet than I ever could.
it's so fucking good. So, The Undertaker rises from the ashes, and it's over his chest. It says "Melty Blood Type Lumina," and then underneath that is a reaction shot of of Orton, the Apex Predator, and he's just going, "Oh my God!" face. And it says Street Fighter 6, KOF 15, Guilty Gear Strive, Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, Tekken 7, Mortal Kombat 11, Injustice 3, Smash Ultimate, and that one Dungeon Fighter Online game. Oh, fuck! It's Melty Blood!
There's something about the resurrection of Melty Blood from the bathroom that is so fascinating. Like,
this is the highest definition bathroom you've ever seen. The sprites are new. There's new art. It's looking crisp. In fact, it's more than a resurrection. It's a new game. It is a new game, but
yeah.
it's just taking Melty Blood and bringing it back, and it's a little nuts considering like the current cash cow that is Fate, that the same company has, that they could have went with on this route, but you know they like, no, let's give Tsukihime some love, you know.
Back to Melty Blood.
Yeah. So no, we are fully out of the bathroom now, to be perfectly honest. That's all.
This toilet has rollback.
I would like to give another shout out to HD Kieran for a good tweet, which calls to attention how strong this announcement was. This is how you announce a fighting game. All right. Mm-hmm. Immediately upon discovery of the existence of this product, it was unveiled with worldwide release confirmed, release time frame confirmed, platforms confirmed, rollback netcode confirmed, and answers to questions that get straight to the point about the battle system. Right away.
What questions are those, by the way? I'm curious. I haven't seen that.
So if you go to the site, which is meltyblood.typelumina.com, they kind of talk a little bit about how the system will keep what Melty Blood is known for and what like Melty Blood players who are familiar enjoy about it, but it's also going to be rebuilding it from the ground up in a way. So this is going to be a bit of a Strive situation, perhaps, with some things that are familiar and some things that are new. So like between that and the sprites, it's like at the end of the day, like, yeah, this is a sequel. It's not the latest version of Melty Blood. It really is a full on sequel.
Is that girl in the white just Saber before Saber was Saber? The blonde girl,
Arcroid. Yeah, Arcroid is Arc. She was totally sure.
Is that just a Saber?
I mean, if you want it to be, I believe so. Yeah.
Know.
And Rapid Beats are now going to be in the game, which is a sort of, it seems like it's going to be like a bit of an auto combo system going on there. So sure. There's shots of Shiki, who is looking as dating sim protagonist as ever. He is a Japanese student with glasses and a knife, which means any students with glasses that can pick up a knife can cosplay as him and feel kind of like, yeah, imagine if I was in this world. And then the best part is that to feel like they're powering up, all they got to do is take their glasses off. And now you and your box cutter are super in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you go, Shujinko. Shiki Nanaya, and Shikitono.
I was always blown away at the relative simplicity of MeltyBlood's designs.
Well, that's because they're coming off of dating sim art, right? Like, you're coming off of Dojin game art, and a lot of games that are just visual novel Dojin games that like don't have the fighting game part attached have art styles like this that you then sell at Comiket, you know, and it took you a couple months on Ren'Py to like lay it out, and then you spend a bit more time after that finalizing it, and you'll see like rough versions of homemade games like this all the time, little garage cases, you know. So it just, to me, that's what the art style looks like.
I have no idea what you just said.
Okay. The art style being
I didn't understand a single noun you used in that whole thing.
Right, no problem. Let's try this again. The art style looks pretty simplistic compared to a lot of other like big budget anime titles, or, you know, let's say. The reason why I think that's the case is because the source of this game, which is, it's a fighting game based on a visual novel Dojin game, right? You know what that is. And
I lost you when you started talking about Comiket and Ren'Py. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck these things are. I just don't know what that is.
Ren'Py is a visual novel Mugen.
Okay.
It's Mugen for visual novels. Right. And you just grab the script, you grab your art assets and throw them in there, and then you're good to go. And then people will get together, like Genshiken, the manga, like they'll get together, little comic clubs and groups of people will just work on a little Ren'Py project, you know? And then they'll put it out at Comiket, which is the big convention, and then see if it gets any traction. But in a lot of cases, you're going to see this very, like, time-constrained, we'll call it, art style.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
so that's kind of why. Yeah.
It's just none of those other ones became fighting games that blew up the way MeltyBlood did.
Yeah. And if they do, at some point you might see the art style change from like Dojin anime to like fucking we got money, you know? But there's an artist, I forgot his name, but the artist has a style, and it's this particular style, and it keeps that Dojin feeling the whole way through. I would say the same goes for everything I've seen of Toho, right? Toho also has that sort of like budget sort of feel to the art style.
By the way, Wolves, I'm still going to keep listening. I just need to head upstairs and make sure the dog's not choking on anything. I haven't seen him in a bit.
Okay.
So you keep talking. I'll be back in like 45 seconds.
Right. That will occur. What are we talking about? I said Tuhu has that anime look, I suppose. Zun makes everything. Is that who we're discussing? I suppose so. Yeah. I kind of feel like when you looked at King of Fighters 4 Girls, may it rest in peace, we saw the art style soften. The characters we know that have more detail had to get simplified for the dating sim versions. They became a little bit more biseinen in their appearance. I'm gonna say as well, even before that, there was another KOF dating sim, not dating sim, but like King of Fighters Kyo adventure game where it had a similar look to it as well. So, you know, it's what happens when you become a visual novel version of yourself. You lose a couple layers of shading.
I like that.
Yeah.
Just flatten it out.
It's fast, it's easy. MeltyBlood is back, and it's fucking immediately got rolled back. And that is also really important for them because the last MeltyBlood game also had rollback, but that's not because the devs made it.
Oh, yeah?
They released a Steam version of it, and then everyone went, this sucks, the netcode's terrible. And then the community took it and like basically took the piece, the arcade version, got it working and emulated, and then put rollback in through a command prompt separate booting software, and then people are now playing the game with handmade rollback perfectly. And
That's pretty crazy.
yeah, and it's like you have to boot up a fucking command prompt. You have to boot up a DOS prompt window to use it, and it's not at all friendly to newcomers to like get into things that way, you know. And so what kind of happens is people went, "Hey, buy the game on Steam to support it, but then get this other version that we actually play for real." You know, and that's a bad look when the fans make a functioning version of your game for you.
So Melty Blood and In Birth, Under Night, Uniclear, they're the same. They're both French bred.
Both are French bred, and everyone thought that when the dev was asking for GGPO tips on Twitter, that it was going to be because Uniclear was getting rollback, but it's not. It's because Melty Blood was being worked on.
You know, I'm very happy for everybody who likes Melty Blood, and I am simultaneously going, man, I would way rather play Uniclear with rollback than Melty Blood.
Agreed. Between the two, I like Under Night more, for sure.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens, though. I think we're going to see that franchise again. I think, yeah, French Bread is doing all right now. I think they're probably working on something. Hopefully a sequel. As opposed to another update. It would be really...
I have an idea for a sequel.
Nice.
It's going to be called Overnight in Birth. Overnight Pro Birth. There it is.
Mm-hmm. Go on.
There's no more. This is as far as my brain will go.
But where's the pun?
There's a pun?
Yeah. Because In Birth is also inverse.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. That's why they went with In Birth. Because it's like B and V can be interchanged so that it sounds like In Birth and Inverse at the same time. In Basse.
Okay, but I'm not going to say it like that, and I'm the one making the stupid new name.
Yeah, so your name needs to be as clever.
I don't think clever is the right word for that.
Damn. BTFO. EST. Anyway, Type Lumina coming 2021 with all the bells and whistles.